draw with the grandparents. Today, this is another one that I have begged Mum to do because if you don't know this about me, I really love Frozen. So today we're going to be doing the fire spirit. So let's get our pencils. For our fire spirit, we are going to break him down into the most basic shapes. So we are going to start with this. These are the first marks that we are going to make on our page, and I'm going to start here and just draw a line down. And I want to emphasize how lightly we want to do these lines, because we are eventually going to rub all of these out. So we can't have them be too big, and I think I've just done that too big on that side. We can't have them too bold, otherwise they won't rub out with the rubber and we'll still be able to see them in the finished picture. So very lightly, I'm holding my pencil at the very top. We're going to put in, it is a rectangle, it looks like a square. You know, it's just a cube. So we're then going to bring a line over here a little bit. And then we're going to do a kind of curve down. That is just in the kind of going diagonally down like a triangle. It doesn't matter if it's not curved, it doesn't matter at all. I'm then going to point this bit up to about here, and then I'm going to bring this up and around, connect that with a lovely curve. And that is the very first bit that I'd like you to do, and once you've finished this, we'll bring it all the way down, further down still, to I think about there, that's where I'm going to finish it. And I'm then going to bring this over and do this, bring this in a curve. And I think I want the curve to be very, very smooth, just like this. So you can imagine that being 1/4 of a full circle, and that's what we want to picture. So those are our first steps. Let's get those in and then we'll move on. With the second step, this is what you're going to see at the end when you pause it. And I hope by now you know that these red lines are the lines that we have already got on our page, and the black lines are the lines that we are going to add. So if you watched Pua, our Moana video, you will know that there are a couple of ways that we can work around these lines. One way is to just keep them in until you're happy, but just work around it. So I am going to work around it here, bring it inside, and then connect to that curved bit there. But another way we can do it, and I'll just show you this now, is just rub out the line, so you have a vague idea of where it is, and then you can start to put it in and put the curves in, just like that. Sometimes I find that a little bit easier, so I'm just going to take that bit where the two met there, and we're going to make this into another curve. And again, we're going to bring this down to make our fire spirit's lovely head. Now, just while we're doing the fire spirit, I thought I would mention that we are drawing it a bit like some kind of reptile. If you have any idea and you think, oh, it looks just like, I don't know, maybe a newt. I don't know my reptiles very well. That's much more my brother's cup of tea. Then you can draw this thinking it looks like a newt. But I am such a Frozen fan that to me, this is just the fire spirit. So coming up, down to make his lovely smile. And then I'm going to put in some little bits here. I'd like that line there to be quite curved, but very properly there, like a straight line. And then I'm going to do a little half circle there too. And on this side for the other eye, I'm just going to do a very similar thing. This looks strange, and it will look strange because the eyes are going to be a lot bigger, but just trust me and let's go with it. I'm going to rub out this little bit here, and I'm going to come in and do the legs. So the legs on this side, we're going to bring this out just to here, and we're not going to put in the bottom bit, we're going to save that for the last step. So bring it out there. And then I think we should move on and do this side. So I find it easier to fully rub out this line. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to just where the very end of that line is, we're going to put in his foot. So I hope you can see that where I had that line, where it meets, I know I need to put the foot. And then the back foot is quite big actually. I've practiced this a couple times, and I have to say the back foot is bigger than you think it is. So make sure you get it in and make sure it's a big chunky back leg. We're then going to put this line in here for the back and then the tail. And the tail has a little curved at the end, and then it comes right into his body. And then you can kind of see we've got pieces of the jigsaw puzzle, but we've not quite completed it with this middle bit. So I'm going to rub out the lines, and then I am going to follow from where that line is. I'm going to do his foot here, and this is such a big foot. It's kind of not the main part of the drawing, but it's a very centre piece. It's right in the middle. So we want to get this bit right. So really take your time on these bits and make sure you get the right shape. And then I'm going to connect that line there and put in a tiny little line which is going to become the back foot. But that is the second step. So if you pause there, this is what it's going to look like at the end. This is what you've got, and hopefully using this you'll be able to work out how to do it. All right, we are on our last step, and this is where it's going to come together and it's going to look so cute and you're going to love it, I promise. I know this because I love it. I love Frozen and I love the fire spirit. So this is what we are going to finish with, and this is what we've currently got. So I think it is much easier to just start with the head, start with where we were already working on, and we're going to put in these really big eyes, and we're just going to surround that little shape that we've put in with these gorgeous big eyes. They are huge. They're so cute, honestly. And so we'll keep drawing there. I'm really happy with those eyes. I think they look fab. And then don't forget, we're just going to draw around that bit of the eye, and that bit is going to be blue. So that's going to be his blue eyes. We can then go to the top of his head, and these bits are really small. I've done them a couple times, but I feel like you think they're going to be really big, but they're not. They are just tiny little bumps on the top of his head or her. I'm not really sure if it's a his or a her. I'm just going to change this bit here, and we're going to bring this down like that. And then we're going to put in the lines for his feet here, and these want to be really wiggly lines. And that is our finished drawing. So stay tuned to watch the painting part, which is my favourite part. I love the painting part. I am going to be using watercolour pencils for the painting. So right here I've got my water, which we're going to need. I have my paintbrush, which we're also going to need. And I have the 3 colours that we're going to be using. We have a light blue, and this is the lightest blue that you get in our packs. We have a black and a gorgeous purple colour. So let's start with the light blue. And the way that we are going to do this is very lightly outlining. There are a couple ways we can outline, and I want this to be really, really light. And I'm just going to bring this line down to there. I'm then going to really lightly draw this side of his body and go over that line for the mouth as well. And we're going to do a little bit under his tummy here as well. So we're going to very lightly colour this in, and I want you to see how lightly I'm using the very, very top of my pencil, and I'm not making many marks at all. Okay, that's all I'm going to do for that top bit. That's all I'm going to do for the body. That's what I'm going to do for the bit under there. So we really don't need a lot of pencil marks, a lot of pigment or anything. We just need a few light lines, which is going to give us this lovely light blue colour. I'm then going to come in and put some blue in this part of his eye. So do you remember it's kind of like a rainbow? It's surrounding that first line, that first circle that we did. And I'm also going to put a tiny little bit of purple in there. Then we've got our very big brush. And we are going to, first of all, just paint the eye very, very carefully. The reason I'm doing this bit first is because I want it to dry for when we come back up to the top of the head and for the eyes. So I want it to be dried. And then I'm just going to start painting. Oh, it's such a lovely colour, this light blue. He is a fire spirit, but he's very cold colours, the light blue. So keep going here. And as you can see, as soon as we add the water to our watercolour paper, all those little lines that we did just disappear as they become paint. And all together they mix and become this lovely, gorgeous light blue colour. I love the colour light blue. I think it's so pretty. And I think that is a lovely colour. I'm now going to wait until that is fully dry and then I'll move on to the next colour. Okay, my first painting step has just finished and I'm now going to move on to the next colour. And we want this next colour to be a much darker blue. And I'm going to show you how we're going to achieve that. So first of all, we're going to outline. And I hope you notice a difference between the outline there and the outline there, because this is a lot heavier. And we're not going to outline this little bit, we're only going to outline the legs. Wavy at the bottom, if you remember. Wavy. So that bit's outlined, and then we're going to outline the tail as well with this gorgeous blue colour. And then we're just going to do the same up here on the head. So we want him to have this lovely smile, which I think he's got here. He's a very cheeky little creature, if you remember. He causes a little bit of trouble at first. And then we are going to start with the blue, and we're going to make sure there's a lot of blue on there. It doesn't have to be neat. If you can see here, I've not gone too close to the eye, because I know the closer it gets to the eye, the more chance it is of going in the eye. And I don't want that. So we're getting this nice blue all over. Right, once we've done that, this bit is what I think makes it look really special. We are going to go in with our purple. Not everywhere, but we are going to add in some bits of the purple colour, especially on the tail. I'd like the tail to have a lot of purple on him. So just making sure it's there, because as soon as we add the water, it's going to merge. Right, let's see how this looks. I hope you've all enjoyed this picture. This was one that I had chosen because I am such a Frozen fan. So I really hope you love it. So as we can see there, we've now got this gorgeous colour, and it's a dark blue, but it's got the bits of purple in it. So pretty. So we're going to do the legs. And this front leg here. Oh, I love that. I think that colour is so nice. And it's not, I'm not sure if it's showing as well up on camera, but there's so many different parts. You can really clearly see the purple, but you can also see the blue. It's just lovely. So very, very carefully around the eye. We really want our marks to be very careful, very precise. Oh, I'm so happy with that. I think that looks fab. I'm now going to take my black, and if you want, you can wait for this top bit to dry, but I don't want to leave you waiting, so I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to very, very lightly go around. Again, we're using our light marks, because if we go too hard, this is going to look very, very dark, and I don't want that to be the main part of our fire spirit. I'm just going to draw a little white circle, and then I'm going to colour in this part apart from that little circle. This little circle is very important because this is what is going to give it its really cute cartoon look. Oh, I'm so happy with that. I hope you've enjoyed that. That is our finished picture. I hope you really loved that picture, and if you fancy, you can add a little Elsa or Anna on the side. But don't forget that we have so many videos in our archive. We actually already have an Olaf picture, and we've got an Olaf and Sven picture. So if you're still in the mood to do some Frozen pictures, go back and watch those. But Mum will be back tomorrow with the daily draw, so I'll see you soon.